lake maps have always been one of the most critical tools in an angler's arsenal. But lake maps, as you and I have always known them, are about to undergo a revolutionary change. You'd better get used to the term Insight Genesis. It's going to change everything about the way you and I think about mapping going into the future. We're going to demonstrate that for you today, show you a big event that's happening at Lake Sidney Lanier, just north of Atlanta, Georgia. It's going to be a lot of fun. This is Fox Sports Outdoors.
It's time now for your weekly fishing reports and real-time outdoor news from the Southeast region. This is Fox Sports Outdoors Sports South.
Lake Lanier, located just over my right shoulder, is known as Atlanta's playground. You come out here on a spring afternoon or a summer day and you'll find thousands of boats scurrying all over the surface of this lake. But amongst all those boats resides some of the very best fishing that the Southeast has to offer. Lanier has got big spotted bass, largemouth bass, catfish, crappie, stripers, and a few other species. So on today's show, we're going to go out on my very first adventure on Lake Lanier, do a little scouting around, see if we can catch a couple of fish. But maybe every bit as important, we're going to be covering a live event that's happening here at Lanier today. Introduce you to some folks who will explain the all-new Lowrance social mapping project called Insight Genesis. While we're doing that, we're taking you around your local region for your fishing reports from our team of insider reporters. We're in for a lot of fun in the next half hour. Stay with us right now. Let's get it started back at the FSN studios with your weekend planner.
According to the Salooner tables, the best fishing conditions over the weekend will be on Sunday. Expect peak activity to begin at 9:15 in the morning and again at 9:39 in the evening. Sunrise will take place at 6:21 with sunset occurring at 8:29. And we're approaching a full moon next week, so evenings should be bright. Stay with us. All of your current fishing updates from around the region are on the way. And I'll return with professional angler Jason Christie for this week's Ask the Pro question.
Fox Sports Outdoors is brought to you by Tracker Boats. It's more than just a boat, it's a tracker. By Costa Sunglasses, see what's out there. By Mercury Marine, official outboard of Fox Sports Outdoors. And by Lowrance Electronics. Find, navigate, dominate.
Got him. Got him. Be a little spot. Let me show the folks what a Lake Lanier spot looks like. There he is right there. Oh, yeah. Got him. All right. Well, it's a start. Hey, welcome back everybody. We're on Lanier today, just north of Atlanta. Well, that's what a Georgia spot looks like. That's not one of the big ones, certainly at all. In fact, that's a really small one for here, but you can see the lines down his side, little small mouth, little patches of teeth on his tongue. That'll get us started anyway. All right, we're gonna let him go back. Swim back, partner. Thanks very much for the business. Let me orient you to what's going on today with the Lowrance Insight Genesis mapping event. They've invited a bunch of college fishing teams and some local fishermen from around the area to come in here and cover as much of this lake as they can in one day with their sonar units, graph the bottom of the lake, save it to a card. Very simple process to do. They upload it to Lowrance's server in the cloud, and then everybody can download that information in the form of a much more detailed map than we've ever had before. And we're going to do this at lakes all over the country, and people just like you are going to help. As long as you have a Lowrance unit, a little card to put in it, you can record your data, upload it, share it with everybody, and create better maps than you've ever had for yourself. We're going to give you lots more information about that, and a little bit later on we'll show you a before and an after look at what a lake looks like before it's been mapped with this Insight Media social mapping, and what it looks like afterwards. It's a really cool deal. All right, we're going to get you some more fishing and lake reports from your local area and lots more information from some folks that know a lot more about this than I do.
Hey folks, Captain E here with your Carolinas Report, this week brought to you by Marshall's Marine. Located in Lake City and Georgetown, South Carolina, we're your bass boat leader since 1969, and for all your nitro and bass tracker needs, visit www.marshallsmarine.com. A couple weeks back, we were talking about the cobia. Here they come. They're on the beaches. They're following those schools of Manhattan, and they are everywhere. From Beaufort up to Wrightsville, Moorhead, all those inlets. Get out there, look for these fish around these schools. Get out with a live eel or a live Manhattan or a live pinfish. Pretty much anything live. These things aren't scared of anything. They want a meal. When you see them come up, get ready. Make sure you've got a rod that can handle the fight. These are an unbelievable fight and also an even greater table fare. Also in the nearshore side of things, the flounder that are on the nearshore reefs this time of the year start being larger than the ones that are back in most of the inlets. Get out on those reefs and don't overlook these. Fish with a heavier jig and fishing that 30, 40, 50 foot of water on those reefs and live bottoms, and get ready for some of the best flounder of the year that you can catch. In the freshwater side of things, the striped bass in the upstate continue to be a go-to species. Early in the morning, late in the afternoon, trolling shad and herring, as well as the bass have come out of that spawning mode. They're definitely in post-spawn in both North and South Carolina. You can get out and find those fish in your post-spawn spots where you like to target them. This has been your Carolinas Report, brought to you by Marshall's Marine. Fish smarter, not harder. Keep your chaos organized.
There's one, I got him. Here he comes. Nice spot right there, good spot. That's what we came to Lanier to do right here. Beautiful fish. Careful, careful, easy, don't break me off. Got light line on here. Got him, all right. There we go. That's a real Lake Lanier spot right there. Caught him on a little Jean LaRue rally grub. That gives you some idea of what we came to catch right there. That is one of the, he's not one of the giants or anything. These spots get huge, but that's a good quality, fat, female spotted bass right there with a big belly on her. All right, let me, we'll put this fish back. She gave me a really good fight. All right, that is a red clay Rocky Point, and that is classic spotted bass structure. This is a really gin clear lake. If you're coming here, let me tell you one thing. You need Stren fluorocast because it is absolutely some of the clearest water you'll find in Georgia. You can see several feet straight down in the water and they'll see your line here. And I'm actually downsizing my baits, throwing a little small lead head with that little Jean LaRue rally grub. That's classic spotted bass structure, spotted bass tackle spinning rod, and a great way to catch them here at Lake Lanier. All right, hey, I want to fill you in on some more information on the Insight Genesis project from Lawrence, how you can use it.
Insight Genesis is simply custom contour mapping. It gives the angler the power to create custom contours down to 1 foot for any body of water that they fish.
Insight Genesis is recording your own sonar off your graph. You just upload it to an SD card, and then you take that SD card home and upload it to the internet, and Lawrence and Insight Genesis makes the map from your recording.
Essentially, all you have to do is just borrow an SD card from your camera, stick it in your Lawrence unit, you push 3 buttons, and you're recording your sonar.
I will graph over the humps, I'll upload it and see this map, and instead of guessing where that break is now or having to run over it every day, I have that on my map, and I can make that cast again and again and again on every hump I go to.
You don't have to buy any additional software. It's just you log into the Insight Genesis website and you have Insight Genesis. And then you just put your data in there that you've recorded on the water and it creates a map for you.
I think in the future you're just going to see these almost perfect maps that are really going to help you break down a lake even faster than you do now and catch the biggest fish in the lake.
You can go out and you can map a whole lake at once if you want, or you can go out and just go fishing, push those 3 buttons to record your sonar, and you can just kind of make your map one puzzle piece at a time.
This part of the program is brought to you by Maven Binoculars, a Wyoming company selling world-class optics at great internet prices. Maven Binoculars was given Gear of the Year award by National Geographic and offers a lifetime warranty on everything that they sell. Well, Triple Tail finally showed up off the Georgia coast. This is great sight fishing, and the fish work along the beach areas within just 2-3 miles of shore. It's good light tackle, small boat fishing, and Captain Tim Cutting tells me they've really showed up in force. Over the last week or so, every time he's gone out with charters out of St. Simon's Island in southeast Georgia, he's seen no less than 10 fish, had shots at least that many. He's had some days where he's seen 25 fish. A lot of them are small. A lot of these are those 3 to 10 pound fish, but plenty of fish are over 10 pounds, and he's had them up to 15 pounds. The primary way he's catching them is with popping corks, with live shrimp fished underneath the cork, 4 to 6 feet long, length of leader, with that shrimp on it. Further offshore, they're catching amberjacks, triggerfish, and sea bass. The natural bottom areas have been better. In Mississippi, there's no triple tail really showing up yet in numbers, but that could happen any day. Captain Sonny Schindler in Bay St. Louis is doing real well on sea trout in the Louisiana marsh. In Alabama, the spotted sea trout fishing has also been good. Some of these fish are going up to 4 pounds. Live shrimp around the oil rigs and the reefs.
Welcome to the Alabama, Georgia, and Mississippi Freshwater Fishing Report. This week's action is sponsored by Jimmy Jacobs Outdoor Adventures, your source for guidebooks to trout fishing and hiking in the Southeast. www.jimmyjacobsoutdoors.com. As we come to the end of May, the fishing is red hot all across the region for a number of species. In Mississippi, the crappie action is good right now on Sardis Lake, just northeast of the town of Batesville. This 98,520 acre impoundment on the Little Tallahatchie River is giving up limits of keepers to trolling tactics. These are good sized fish because the minimum limit for keeping a fish here is 11 inches. Be aware you can only use 3 lines per angler when trolling though. The spawn is over and the crappie are out in 6 to 10 feet of water on the main lake and especially around creek mouths. Black and chartreuse or red and chartreuse jigs tipped with minnows are the baits to be using. The fish are also being caught in the Blackwater Creek area and the upper end of the reservoir in about 4 feet of water in the standing timber. For some largemouth bass action in Georgia, head to Lake Sinclair on the Oconee River. These post-spawn fish are feeding on shad, and you want to be throwing topwater lures or spinner baits at the edge of the grass beds. For more crappie action, try Lake Eufaula in southeast Alabama. The best tactic here is shooting jigs up under the shade of the dock. You let the bait sink. If you don't get a hit, begin a slow retreat.
Fox Sports Outdoors is brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Right stuff, low price, every day. By Lose, setting a new standard of fishing performance. Feel the difference. By Gene LaRue and Bobby Garland Lures. With our baits, a good day of fishing is in the bag. And by Stren Fishing Lines, the standard of dependability.
Still on Lake Lanier in Georgia. Here's a little treat, a little bonus for you. As I mentioned earlier, people from Lawrence are having a mapping event out here today, and a lot of the guys from the college bass fishing teams are out having a little tournament, and this is some of what they weighed in. Now, the largemouths actually are in smaller numbers here in Lanier than the spotted bass. There's many more spots, but the largemouths will always grow bigger, and that's typically what wins your tournaments. Now the largemouths do get up to 9-10 pounds here. We're going to release these fish. There's actually a couple of more in here. You can just see the quality of the largemouth bass fishing here in Lake Lanier. We're going to let that one go back as well. And see behind me here, there's a lot of boat docks in this lake. A lot of times you'll find these largemouths up underneath these boat docks. That's one of the primary fishing patterns here on Lanier. And then there's a lot of reefs out here. They're right under the surface of the water, and if you're coming here, you got to be really careful. Watch your maps because these reefs come up within a foot or two under the surface. Our thanks to some of the guys on the Georgia and Clemson and some of the other college fishing teams for letting us show some of their fish on camera. We're going to release the rest of these, and right now we're going to get you a little bit more information on this Insight mapping event going on today and a little bit more about Insight Genesis.
You can put the SD card in. It doesn't take any time. You just put it in, press record, and you're good to go.
When you're done with your day of fishing, you just pop that SD card out, stick it in your computer, log into insightgenesis.com, and there's easy to follow steps, and it's really only about 4 steps.
It's foot by foot, so it's the most detailed map you're going to find.
With Insight Genesis maps, when you have that bottom harness layer, you can actually see the bottom in the same way that you see the bank, because you see the contours, but you also see the size and the shape of that hard bottom and where it transitions.
But on grass lakes like Lake Seminole, I was at a month ago, I could see the holes in the grass. I could see where the grass stopped. I could fish the edge.
With a free Insight Genesis account, you can make all of your own custom maps. You can download maps from the social map and upload them to your unit and use them on the water. With a premium account, you get the ability to create private maps, the ability to create a bottom hardness composition map, and the ability to create a vegetation map.
Oh, I definitely think it's going to catch on just because it gives you a perfect map. And not only does it give you the topography foot by foot, it also, you can see the grass, and that's a yearly thing, so you don't have to do it every year to see the grass.
Now, no matter if you have a premium account or a free account, your waypoints, your trails, your tracks, that's always private. We never share any of that. That actually lives on your unit. When you're uploading sonar, that information doesn't come with it.
Here are a couple of bonuses for you, some before and after screenshots of Lake Lanier, parts of Lake Lanier, with the Insight Genesis data overlaid. Now here's a before shot, a wider shot of the lake. You can see the topo map there. And then we transition to the after shot with all of the Insight Genesis data laid over it, and you can see all of the extra contour lines and all of the extra detail. Then we show you a little more zoomed in shot of one little area. First, the before shot, the topo map without the Insight Genesis data overlaid. Then we transition to that same area of the lake, and you can see all of those 1 foot contour lines and all of that added detail with the Insight Genesis data overlaid.
Stormer USA has designed their logo to be a shield, which by definition is something that protects. And that's exactly what their product line is designed to do. No matter where you live or what the climate, they design a product that will protect you and your investment of your time outdoors. So go to stormerusa.com today and check them out. Hey guys, welcome to this week's Tennessee and Kentucky Fishing Report. The weather's been beautiful, the fishing's really good. I'm gonna give you a quick rundown of what's happening. Reelfoot Lake is on fire. Bass, crappie, bluegill, catfish, you really can't beat it anywhere in Tennessee, Kentucky region right now. Plus the scenery is second to none. There's nowhere on earth quite like Reelfoot. So give that a try, check that out. The Tennessee River's really good. The bass are as expected in summertime, ganging up offshore. Deep crankbaits, big worms, and swim baits are gonna account for most of your bites. From Chickamauga to Kentucky Lake, the Tennessee River is on fire. The catfishing's really good too, as is the crappie fishing. Catfish are being caught in current areas on main river flats. The Cumberland River, which predominantly would be Barkley, Cheatham, those two lakes make up the biggest part of it. That runs a little cooler than the Tennessee River, so the fish tend to stay shallower a little longer. Your bass, your crappie, your panfish are really biting right now. There are some offshore, but there's still plenty shallow that are easy to find around shoreline cover.
Lake Lanier is 38,000 acres of surface water. The lake is 640 miles of shoreline. It's about 157 feet deep at our deepest part of the lake. What makes Lake Lanier so good is we're only about 45 minutes north of Atlanta, and we have spotted bass up to 8 pounds, largemouth up to 10 pounds, and we have a wonderful striper fishery. The lake's a very good lake for a bank fisherman as well. We started the Southern Fishing Schools in the late 80s basically to help anglers learn how to find and catch more fish. Most anglers don't know how to fish with a bait casting reel, and they get backlashes. They also have trouble putting line on reels. And our schools are rods, reels, and lures for bass, all-day class, stripers, all-day class, and we teach Lawrence electronics. So for more information on the fishing schools, check out the website, southernfishing.com.
Fox Sports Outdoors is brought to you by Exide AGM Marine Batteries. Starts like new, stays like new longer. By Motor Guide Trolling Motors. Introducing the XI5 for ultimate boat control. And by Nitro Performance Fishing Boats. Champions aren't born, they're made.
Welcome back, everyone. Let's get right to your Ask the Pro question for this week. Adam wants to know, how many rod and reel combinations does the average angler need? For the answer, we asked professional angler Jason Christie.
The number of setups kind of depends on what kind of fisherman you are. I think one of the things that I try to do whenever we build reels for Lew's and rods, for Falcon, is I try to make rods that you can use for 2 or 3 different techniques. For instance, a jerkbait rod you can also use as a spook rod, a worm rod you can use as a flipping stick. So really, if I'd say 6 setups would probably work, but just try to get combos that you can use 2 or 3 different techniques.
Thank you, Jason. If you want a little help from one of the pros, simply visit foxsportsoutdoors.com and follow the Ask the Pro link to submit a question. Now it's time for someone to win a new pair of sunglasses on the Costa Catch of the Week.
This week's winner in the Costa Catch of the Week contest is Logan Clark of Smiths Grove, Kentucky. He's showing off a 7-pound butterfly peacock bass he caught out of the Aerojet Canal in Florida City, Florida. If you'd like to have a chance to win the Costa Catch of the Week contest and a free pair of Costa sunglasses, all you have to do is go to the front page of our website at foxsportsoutdoors.com. The right-hand side of the front page is the Costa Catch of the Week area. Click in that, send us your photo. You could be our next winner. And if you'd like to see all of the Costa frame and lens styles, you can do that by going back to the front page of our website and clicking on the Costa logo. You can see them all there, including the frame style that I was wearing on this week's episode called Manta. Next up on the Academy Right Stuff, it's the right gear, the right baits if you'd like to catch spotted bass, largemouth bass, and striped bass here at Lake Lanier. The top of your screen is the Jean LaRue Rally Grub rigged on a 1/4 ounce lead jig head. Below that's a striper bait. If you want to catch stripers here, you can go with a horsehead bucktail jig. On the back of that, a Jean LaRue Sweet Swimmer swim bait. For obvious reasons, I spend a lot of time behind the wheel driving back and forth across the country, and I spend a lot of time listening to the radio. The other day I was on the satellite channel. I came across the Joel Osteen station, and he was talking about the power of your words, how important the words are that we speak, that come out of our mouth. Have you ever heard of a self-fulfilling prophecy? You say, well, it's probably going to be a bad day, or I probably won't get that job or promotion, or I feel like I'm going to get sick. Guess what? Much of the time, that's exactly what happens. On the other side, if you say it's going to be a good day, many times that's what happens. Joel's message was very simple. Either find something positive to say or don't say anything at all. Find something positive or zip it up and be quiet. Great words of wisdom to live by. I hope you enjoyed our trip to beautiful Lake Lanier, located north of Atlanta, Georgia, showing you a little bit of the fishing here, and I hope you'll check out the Insight Genesis social mapping program by Lowrance. You can check it all out at the Lowrance website or simply Google Insight Genesis, and it will get you there to show you everything you need to know about the program, how you can participate to make your maps much better and catch more fish. Don't forget to join us for next week's episode. We'll be on at 6 p.m. Thursday in our normal time slot with the repeat airing Sunday morning at 8:30. And don't forget, you can always catch the latest episode of our show on the front page of our website. Again, it's foxsportsoutdoors.com. You can click on past episodes and more video here. Very important, you can get all the past archived episodes of our show and lots of great how-to and product videos as well. And be sure to follow us on our Twitter feed for great gear giveaways. We're always giving away something cool there. It's worth signing up for Twitter. It's free just to follow our feed. We're also on Facebook. We'll see you next week. Until then, from Georgia, I'm Barry Stokes. Be safe, have fun. Bye-bye, y'all.